Hayao Miyazaki is one of the greatest movie directors out there right now, handcrafting to perfection all of the Studio Ghibli movies. From My Neighbor Totoro to Kiki's Delivery Service, from Spirited Away to Ponyo, Miyazaki does it all. However, most people don't know the truth behind all of these movies, that they all take place in one world, and today I'm going to take that one step further. Hello, I'm CTO of the Theory Channel, and first, I just want to say that I won't be discussing the full-blown Miyazaki theory today, just a part of it. I was starting to write the script for this video based on the whole Miyazaki theory when I realized that I really should see all of the movies before I make a video on the whole thing. So I decided to change course a little, save tackling the Miyazaki theory for some time later on, and write this instead. So, the two Studio Ghibli movies that I will be discussing today are Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. I believe that these two movies take place in the same universe. In fact, maybe even the exact same place. This is supported by multiple pieces of evidence, but one main piece that no one has talked about before. Here we go. To my knowledge, Haku from Spirited Away and Howl from Howl's Moving Castle could be the same person. Howl's age in the movie is around 30. His natural hair color is black, and he has blue eyes. Howl has the ability to turn into some kind of bird at will, although it clearly drains him and his powers when he does it too much. Howl learned and perfected these powers with Madame Solomon, one of the film's antagonists, and I would say the main one. Howl studied with Solomon for years and became her most promising pupil, like her prodigy. However, after Howl gave up his heart to a fire demon, Calcifer, he became heartless. Okay, that's obvious, and used his powers to only buy clothing and makeup to make himself look pretty. Moving on to Haku. Haku is a former river spirit who took the form of a human when his river was filled in with apartment buildings. He is about 12 years old and Spirited Away, although his true age isn't known because we don't know how long he was a river spirit for. Apparently, for most of the time he's been in human form, Haku has served as the witch Yubaba's apprentice, being second in command at the bathhouse. However, he does help Chihiro escape from the bathhouse against Yubaba's wishes, so he clearly has a good heart. And, of course, he can also turn into a dragon that can both fly and swim. So, in order for this to work, Haku would have had to be the younger Howl, which means that Spirited Away would have had to take place before Howl's Moving Castle. Now, hear me out. Haku had the ability to turn into a dragon, something that's very rare since he was a river spirit. But Chihiro eventually recovered Haku's real name and gave him back his memories, including the one about Chihiro's pink shoe falling into his river, which very well could have been the pink shoe from My Neighbor Totoro, but that's for another day. It is stated that it is unknown whether or not Haku can still turn into a dragon or not. Well, maybe he can't still turn into a dragon because the river spirit inside of him is gone, and a dragon is a mythological creature associated with water. But maybe, just maybe, he still possesses the magic that he used to morph into a dragon and can change into something else, a land creature, like a large bird. When in dragon form, Haku had the ability to fly, and because flying is something of a land creature's characteristic, he still possesses that as a bird. And this is where things start to click together. Haku was 12 and Spirited Away, and Howl apparently spent years honing his magical abilities. 25, perhaps? Haku was the second in command at the bathhouse and Yubaba's apprentice, and Howl served as Madame Solomon's student/apprentice for many years. It's no coincidence. Howl and Haku are the same person. How about Howl catching the fire demon Calcifer out of the sky one day? He must have done it when he was about to leave the bathhouse for good, and Calcifer was looking to stay there. That would make sense, because all Calcifer wanted was a home, and all Howl wanted was to boost his magical powers. But going aside from Howl and Haku for a second, there's much more evidence to show that these two movies take place in the same world. I mean, take the colored wheel in the windows that are at the entrance to the demon world in Spirited Away. They're almost identical to the dimension dial in Howl's Moving Castle. Coincidence? I think not. And then we can go to say that the whole area near the demon world could be the past version of Howl's magical garden. Notice how Howl states that he spent a lot of time here when he was younger, maybe even his whole childhood. There's just so much evidence for this. I mean, the only thing I see that goes against it is the fact that Spirited Away takes place after 1996, due to the fact that this car is an Audi 1996 A4, and I'm suggesting that Howl's Moving Castle takes place after Spirited Away, which would cause many of the Studio Ghibli movies to take place in the future, and therefore kind of throw the whole Miyazaki theory off, but I have months to figure that out. And, of course, there is the fact that Howl has blue eyes while Haku is green eyes, but, contacts? Anyway, as I said in the intro, I definitely still want to discuss the whole Miyazaki theory. It has much more depth than this theory due to the amount of movies that it covers, and it will also add more or less evidence to this theory because of things like the apocalypse, the events of Princess Mononoke, and much more. So, until my next video, it's CTO of the Theory Channel.